Viral trends. Content creators jumping on board a viral trend. It's been happening for years and will probably continue forever. But of course, these trends, they have an origin. They all started somewhere. The last few years has seen a resurgence of YouTubers opening haunted boxes they allegedly got from the dark web, of course. Not to hate, I get these videos are made for entertainment, but where did this come from, these haunted boxes? Or more specifically, Dybbuk boxes? Well, they're all derived from one classic internet tale. The original, the Dybbuk Box. I remember hearing about the Dybbuk Box all the way back in the mid-2000s. It even had its own website I remember going to, which literally is still the exact same and has not been updated. So this story is almost nostalgic for me. And what's interesting is the tale of the Dybbuk Box has continued, new chapters written that shed new light on what might really be going on here. It all started way back in September 2003. The internet was a much different place back in those days, and before Amazon took over the world, eBay was the king of e-commerce. And this was before other businesses started saturating the marketplace. It was all about private sellers, individuals selling random crap, a giant online yard sale. And it's here where the Dybbuk Box story begins. A man named Kevin Manis posted an item for sale, Dybbuk, haunted Jewish wine cabinet box, and included in the auction's description a long, elaborate story of the box's origins, how Kevin came into possession of the box, and the bizarre series of events that followed. TLDR-ish version, the box was purchased by Kevin from an estate sale of a woman who had passed away at the age of 103. She was a Holocaust survivor whose entire family was killed in a concentration camp. The box was one of the only possessions she brought with her to America. The woman's granddaughter approached Kevin after acquiring the box to explain that it was a Dybbuk box, and her grandmother always warned to never open the box. And when offering to return the box to her, the granddaughter sternly refused. "You bought it, you made a deal." Kevin then returned to his shop with his newly acquired Dybbuk box, at which point he, of course, opened the box. Inside were a handful of interesting items, including a couple locks of hair, an engraved granite statue with Hebrew letters, an iron candlestick holder, and more. In the days and weeks following, Kevin was struck by a series of bizarre and unfortunate events, including an employee at his shop storming out of the building in a panic, never to return again, the strong smell of cat urine around the box, light bulbs bursting, recurring nightmares with a demonic-looking hag, and Kevin's mother, who the box was supposed to be a gift for, having a stroke moments after receiving the box. At which point Kevin attempted several times to give the box away, each time to have the box returned to him a short time later. This is essentially what led to Kevin Manis to auctioning the box off on eBay, understanding that there are people out there who seek out these types of items. Because of course, the logical conclusion is the box is haunted, though Kevin stayed somewhat skeptical. I'm still hoping that all of this is coincidental crap. So, what exactly is a Dybbuk? In Jewish mythology, a Dybbuk is a malicious possessing spirit believed to be the dislocated soul of a dead person, according to Wikipedia. At the time of the auction on eBay, the item generated a moderate amount of interest, and the Dybbuk box ended up selling to a college student in Missouri named Yosef Nitzk, who would later end up also selling the box on eBay again in February 2004. Allegedly due to trouble sleeping, burning out light bulbs, bad smells, and significant hair loss, all things which he mentions in his eBay listing. For personal reasons, I very strongly do not want this box anymore. The Dybbuk box ended up selling to another individual also in Missouri, Jason Haxton, director at the Museum of Osteopathic Medicine at A.T. Still University, who apparently learned of the box from one of his students and took an interest in it. And it was after the second eBay sale of the Dybbuk box and Jason Haxton setting up a website as early as March 2004, dybbukbox.com, then the story really blew up on the internet, even getting covered in a story in the LA Times. Jason had the box shipped to the museum he worked, and within days of it arriving, experienced similar issues, light bulbs bursting, computer equipment malfunctioning, staff at the museum falling ill, which prompted him to take the box home with him. where he would then experience nightmares, continue to be plagued by health issues, even claiming to at one point be bleeding from his eyes. The Dybbuk Box was clearly dangerous, and so Jason stored it in a military box and buried it on his property, where it would remain for a long, long time. The Dybbuk Box story captivated people and really became a significant piece of paranormal internet history, even getting the attention of Hollywood. Jason sold the screen rights in 2004, which eventually became a feature film in 2012, The Possession, produced by Sam Raimi, and Jason even wrote a book about it, The Dybbuk Box, in 2011. In 2016, famous paranormal investigator Zach Bagans acquired the Dybbuk Box from Jason Haxton for an undisclosed amount for display in his museum, the aptly named Haunted Museum in Las Vegas, and dedicated half an episode to the box in his Ghost Adventures spin-off show Deadly Possessions. And what's super interesting, in the episode he interviews not only Jason Haxton, but the box's original owner, Kevin Mannis. And it's here where the seams in the Dybbuk Box story first start appearing. Jason and then Kevin interview with Zach, and the story basically echoes everything we know about the box up until this point.
I woke up, my eyes were bleeding, I've broken out hives.
Whoa.
All of this on the same day of this box.
Then, about 15 minutes into the episode, Kevin Mannis goes down into a room in the basement alone with the Dybbuk Box, and promptly, unceremoniously, opens the box, getting a reaction out of Zach.
Oh, he's just going right to town and opening it all up?
But what's bizarre is what happens next. Kevin starts acting strange, pacing back and forth against the far wall, and then starts reciting some sort of strange poem or passage.
Light from the hallway crept into my room, along with the Shadow Man too, I assume.
What in the hell?
Believing someone or something is talking through Kevin, Zach and the gang are in a state of disbelief. This is my favorite part of the episode.
I want you to go down and get him. Get Kevin.
Looks like there's something wrong with Kevin. He might be possessed. You go get him.
Get Kevin.
Look at this dude.
He's acting
He doesn't
weird.
want to go down there, dude. He wants to go home. Kevin, of course, turns out to be okay, but is quite shaken by the experience. It was definitely the highlight of the episode, but literally the next day, a user on Reddit made the discovery. The strange poem recited by Kevin in the basement is from a spoken word poem called The Shadow Man, which you can find in audio format online.
The light from the hallway crept into my room, along with the Shadow Man too, I assume.
Sound familiar? It's because it's written and performed by Kevin Mannis. The dude's actually out here plugging his own mixtape. Kevin. You know, sometimes all it takes is one tiny hole to sink an entire ship. One lie, one fabrication, and the entire thing is put into question, whether you're a skeptic or a believer. And this was just the beginning. A Facebook post surfaced made in 2015 by Kevin Mannis, admitting that he made the whole thing up back in 2003. If you or anyone else can find any reference to a Dybbuk Box anywhere in history prior to my eBay post, I'll pay you $100,000 and tattoo your name on my forehead. Kevin! In October 2018, Zach Bagans did a Ghost Adventures live Halloween special, a live production where Zach and the team conducted a paranormal investigation at the Haunted Museum, focusing on various haunted artifacts, one of them of course being the Dybbuk Box. During this segment, Zach invited a rabbi to the museum, which didn't exactly go as planned.
Not that much that I believe that they could take control of you, that I would be concerned about it. May not be good with your script, but that's my personal belief.
As the rabbi dismissed any danger the box may pose, though that it might not be good for their script.
Okay, let's go over here.
Gotta love live TV, and you know, props do need to be given for them having an actual rabbi on instead of just having an actor. This clip was removed from the program in future rebroadcasts of the special, and to address the controversy, Zach had the rabbi back on in a YouTube video just a couple days later, where he explains that he does believe in Dybbuks and spirits, and he didn't understand that he was on live television. So make of that what you will. And in some sort of strange twist of fate, I started working on this video a couple weeks ago now and have been planning on doing it for quite a while longer, And literally a week ago, as of this recording, Kevin Mannis has gone on record in a lengthy interview with Input Magazine, I'll link the article, on how the Dybbuk Box is a complete work of fiction. I am a creative writer. The Dybbuk Box is a story that I created, and the Dybbuk Box story has done exactly what I intended it to do when I posted it 20 years ago. So, is that really it? Simple as that? I personally am a skeptic, but I love to humor the idea of there being spirits, demons, Dybbuks. But, to play devil's advocate, what if it actually is haunted? First, what about the original eBay buyer, Yosef Nitsk? Was he in on it? After originally buying the box from Kevin back in 2003, he suffered a series of unfortunate happenings and sold the box quickly after. Then, the box fell into the hands of Jason Haxton, where the staff at his museum started falling ill and equipment malfunctioning. Is it a coincidence? Or is it really haunted or cursed? Or maybe there's a bit of psychology at play here, where you're aware that you've acquired a cursed item and blame any little thing that happens on that, almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Famously, musician Post Malone got to see the Dybbuk Box in person with Zach at his museum, and subsequently had 2 tires on his private jet blow out on the runway, his house was robbed, and he was involved in a car crash all within a couple of weeks. So maybe it's legit. So after all of that, after all of this time, why would Kevin Mannis come out now and say it's a hoax? Well, what if he has a reason for wanting to discredit the Dybbuk Box? For being the person who allegedly conjured up the entire tale? Other than Yosef Nitsk, Kevin Mannis has probably benefited the least from the Dybbuk Box's popularity. Jason Haxton was the one who sold the screen rights, wrote the book, and finally sold the box to Zach Bagans, where it sits now in his haunted museum as one of the biggest attractions on display. Kevin kind of became the background character in his own story, which is why I believe he's now trying to take some ownership. And Jason Haxton seems to be completely aware of that, and they have some sort of strange rivalry going on. In the same article with Input Magazine, Jason states, "I think Kevin was shocked because, though he might have come up with the idea and the concept, he would have never gotten the book written. He never finishes anything. He would have never gotten the movie done. I got red carpet treatment and everything. I was with the stars, and he was the background noise, and it probably pissed him off. But that's the way it is." Damn. So, with this revelation, with 2 former owners of the Dybbuk Box pretty much confirming that it is just a hoax, I think we can safely close the case on the Dybbuk Box. A super long-running nugget of internet lore that has captivated people's imaginations for almost 2 decades. And the box, it's still on display at Zach Bagan's Haunted Museum. And please believe, next time I'm in Vegas, I'm paying it a visit to see the Dybbuk Box. But not to see a possibly haunted artifact, but to see an awesome piece of internet history. Thanks so much for watching this episode of Deep Cuts. As always, please let me know what you thought about it. And this is just the tip of the iceberg on the internet mysteries that we're going to be covering on this channel. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.